Alright, day 1, trail 2, likely video 2. This is the Sunset Point Trail, which I was already told it's going to be a little muddy, and that's because there's some snow on it. And you can already see that in the video. There is a fair amount of cars in the lot, so I assume there's a fair amount of people on the trail. And it was free to get in, which some parks charge and other national parks do not. Zion does charge, and Grand Canyon does charge, but Bryce and the Redwoods do not. So it is what it is. But they give me a map, and I might have to tighten my hat. It's a little breezy out today, and if it wasn't breezy I would have flew my drone on my way in, but 15-mile-an-hour winds isn't worth the risk, so I didn't fly. And I'm hoping that the winds will settle down in the next couple days while I'm still here, so I can get a nice flight and show you guys, the aerial, not from inside the national park. But would you look at that? And rim trails to the left. That's pretty amazing. There appears to be a trail that goes down, but I think I'm going to stick on the rim for the most part. Alright, so 2.5 miles this way to Fairyland View. The trail is a bit muddy, but that half-mile warm-up that I did at Mossy Cave has me, a little bit better prepared for this. And my LA Sport Vitas are, they keep my feet dry in this mud, which is nice, but then, I kind of don't want to track this shit back into the rental car, so that's gonna get weird. And I don't feel like I need the trekking poles yet, but I might. And I might actually check out the Tower Bridge too, which is another 1.5 miles from where I started this video at, in a different direction. And as you can see, the trail is muddy, and you would expect it to be because it's like 55 degrees and the snow is melting. And it's that fancy ass red and gravel mud, which is, no, my shoe's not untied. Yeah, red and gravel mud is disgusting, but not necessarily any worse than the stuff I see in Omaha or in Indianapolis, which is not red, generally gray, and covers me and my truck. But let me go ahead and pause this because I want to take some pictures of that, and I'll see you further down the trail. Please excuse the wind, I really can't help it, but this is a little further down the trail, and it might be a little more like the things you see if you follow Bryce Canyon on Facebook or the National Park System, because they like to post pictures of this park. I think they're trying to draw more business, which, if they don't charge to get in, I'll get what that's going to do. But as I'm looking at this park, there isn't a whole lot to do. I'm sure there's some much further hikes that are, you can probably get onto all that stuff, but I'm not really trying to do all that. I'm not prepared for, you know, an overnight stay. And I didn't even ask about that, whether or not I'm allowed to. This isn't the point that I'm headed to, I don't think. But it is a miraculous view. And I sat here to take a break because of this miraculous view. Not only do you have that kind of mushroom-shaped rock there, but further in between the two rocks, you can see another one further back. And then directly in front of me is this pillar that looks like it's twisty. And these ones over here look like drippy castles, which is kind of what this park is known for, is the rock formations that kind of look like drippy castles. But being that this is a very miraculous view, I am sitting here and I'm thinking about the lesson I've really learned from the Grand Canyon. Don't get me wrong, I do not regret going to the bottom, but the most miraculous views are really from the top, and that's how canyons more or less are. So I'm going to hike this rim trail, and I'm assuming that's the tower, that I'm a mile and a half from that split, and that would probably be where the trail heads to. I don't know that for certain, but depending on how I feel, I'll check it out. But like I said, this canyon, from what I can see of the inside, yes, there is a lot of details that you may not be able to see on film, but getting to the bottom of it doesn't really suit me as much, and I could have done a lot more at the Grand Canyon had I not hiked to the bottom. But like I said, that was just an amazing trip altogether, so I am proud of myself for doing it. And I may or may not do that again, just to see my physical change over years. However, there are still lots of things for me to see, and stuff like this is just amazing. And there's a chipmunk down there, but of course when I go to put him on film, he is hiding. And then around the other side of, well, what I was looking at is another view, which out there is just another angle of that, but it's the other side where that double pillar was, and some more interesting spots. However, it was muddy and snowy over there, and as you can see by my shoes, screwing them up. And I did get my trekking poles out because of the mud, because it does help you navigate a little bit. There is the hoodoos, and on the sign here it says that I have found the rim trail benchmark, which is the metal disc below. And normally you could bring pictures of yourself with 3 of these discs and get a small reward at the visitor center, but because of the damn coronavirus, the visitor center is closed anyway. But it's an interesting challenge, and it says you could either find 3 benchmarks or hike 3 miles on trails that have benchmarks, which I have already done because I'm 3 miles from where the car is parked now, so 3 miles out on the benchmark trail. However, these are the hoodoos. And now from the other side of the hoodoos, which was probably what you expected to see, right? But this is much closer to them and is very, well, it's a sight to see. That one there almost looks like a middle finger. And I want to say it's out to the rim trail where, you know, nature just doesn't care about humans. And I think this is where I'm going to call it and turn around and head back. You guys don't need to see the hike on the way back unless I see something that, well, I'll probably just take pictures of that and put them elsewhere or in this closing video, because you don't necessarily need to see this for the entire time. But yes, it is still an amazing view, and I love the way that there's some rock formations that stick out and the color changes, and it is amazing, and I am glad that I came to see this. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it gives you the inspiration to come here and see it. I did read at the Mulsey Cave Trail that the snow in shadowy areas can stay as late as June, and it starts to form again in September. So that gives you an idea of what you're going to see here most of the time. And it's about 60 degrees here today's actually April 1st, so that gives you that kind of idea. It does get down to the 30s or the 20s at night, and that's part of the reason why the snow is able to stay as long as it does, because it freezes back up at night. But like I said, as always, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. I wouldn't do this without you, and I'll see all my friends in my next video.